Hey guys, what is up? It's Kat here, and we are back for another little 1 a.m. post Bad Batch chat / debriefing session. First off, thank you to those of you who provided your feedback and input on my last episode review video. Thank you to those of you who said that you enjoyed my more raw and natural, just like chill debrief and review. I think I'm gonna keep it up. So if you like these and want me to do them for every single episode, even the filler ones, as much as I don't like that word, let me know. But yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the first one. So without further ado, let's just chat about this week's episode. Well, we've had 2 episodes this week, which is crazy to have Star Wars content again weekly. It almost doesn't even feel real. So I think this review is going to be similar to my Mando Season 2 Episode 2 review, which again, kind of a similar situation. We're coming off of a super, right out of the gate, incredibly just fire, absolute fire episode in both cases for Mando Season 2 and for the Bad Batch here, that 70-minute flipping movie premiere. So of course, naturally, whatever follows is gonna feel a little lackluster in comparison, so I always try to keep that in perspective and see it through the lens of like, okay, was this episode not as exciting because it followed that 70-minute premiere, or was it just not exciting to begin with? I am not saying this episode wasn't exciting, but naturally it just wasn't as hype as the first one. I mean, you guys know I was obsessed with the mini movie. Naturally, this episode, despite being 30 minutes, felt like it was 15. Like, the episode ended and I was like, it's already over? Like, it felt like it had gone by in like the blink of an eye, which is totally fine, but it means I get to go to bed earlier. But at the same time, I just think it's worth noting. I don't know if oh no. My 1 a.m. voice is back. Come on, don't fail me now. So yeah, I'm not saying that this episode was boring or anything like that. Absolutely not. But it, of course, just naturally didn't feel as, not as much happened, not as much was going on, which again is totally fine. There's plenty of room for this show to go, and frankly, they needed to like pump the brakes. You need to have slower episodes in order to appreciate the stuff, the build-up that's going to happen. So I don't ever get discouraged by one episode that maybe was a little bit lackluster. I do think this episode felt a little bit more in line with like the more, not childish, but it definitely had more of the Clone Wars kid-friendly feel. But at the same time, it also felt very much like a Rebels episode. I got a lot of Rebels vibes from this, and I think maybe that could just be in part due to the timeline now, or the time period here, post-Clone Wars. We've entered into the phase of the Empire now, so Rebels obviously had this, the vibe of fighting against Imperial rule and stuff like that, so I think perhaps that's why. But it was kind of cool to be watching Bad Batch and feeling like it's a Clone Wars, but also Rebels kind of hybrid. I don't know, it was very interesting, and honestly, like I was saying, I don't mind if this show takes a little turn and dips its toe outside of the Clone Wars pool. What kind of analogy even is that? Almost 1 a.m. Just bear with me here. But yeah, as I mentioned, I don't really mind if this show deviates a little bit from the natural formula of, say, Clone Wars that we're used to, and branches off and starts to pick up on different vibes or dip into other things, because you guys know I absolutely loved Rebels, and I feel like it is just overshadowed by the Clone Wars a lot. So maybe this show could be an interesting bridge between the two in terms of style and vibe and tone, maybe? Who knows? But yeah, I enjoyed that. It felt like a Rebels episode, and I liked it. Right off the bat, and I know I'm not even gonna be able to pronounce the name. I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm not even gonna say it, but I know we're all gonna know what I'm talking about when I say the cat that scratches Padme's back in Attack of the Clones. It was really cool to see that. I loved the sound that thing makes. It was so neat to hear, like, honestly, what sounded like the exact same sound effect as they used in the Attack of the Clones film. I always love to see like Star Wars creatures in new locations or context, similar to like seeing the Lothal cats in Mandalorian. Like, it's always kind of like a geek out moment, so that was really cool. But yeah, again, in terms of plot, not as much happened this episode. I did really like the scene where Cut and Hunter were talking about Omega, and Cut is suggesting that she's not just a defective clone like the rest of them, that she was like bred or designed for a purpose, and in that way, I guess, for me, that implies that she is an asset, is valuable to the Empire at least, or to the cloning facility or whatnot. So I think that adds a little bit of depth. Not only will the Bad Batch be hunted now, but they're also kind of like, I guess, kidnapping this huge asset to the Empire with Omega. So I thought that was really interesting, and it kind of builds her character and also builds the mystery, because like I said, I love that the first episode addressed who she is and addressed, you know, if she's a clone, whatever, you know, kind of answered our pressing question about who is she or what is she. But I like now that they're adding this other little element. We don't yet know entirely what her capabilities are, her powers, her special skills and whatnot. And now we at least know that there is a higher purpose for her, or that she wasn't just, you know, created on accident. Like, she was designed specifically for a reason. And we at least know her character, but there's still mystery surrounding her, and I think that that could lead to some, I can already foresee this show kind of going in the direction, you know, Hunter forming this, you know, guardian relationship with Omega, feeling very protective over her, and then maybe the Empire capturing her in their search for the Bad Batch, and then them going have to not only try to get Crosshair back, but also Omega, if again she is this big special asset that we don't necessarily know what she's capable of. And I hope we get to see more. We didn't get to see much of her powers this episode. I keep calling them powers. Whatever her special skills are, we didn't really learn much more. If anything, we're seeing that she's just like a typical kid, and she's literally never seen the light of day. She has been on Kamino her entire young life, and it is always raining there. She's literally never seen daylight, or probably gotten very, very minimal human interaction. So I kind of like that we learn that she's super special, or at least gifted, and, you know, has these abilities in the first episode, but then she is kind of grounded by the fact that she's a kid who's never left Kamino. So I like that there is balance here for her, and she is not just this like super powerful kid who's like tearing everything up. I'm excited to just see moving forward, you know, what they might teach her, or, you know, I don't want to see her necessarily become a soldier like them, but I feel like she's capable, maybe a little bit, of whatever path they take if they do join rebellions or engage in the civil war that's about to ensue. I'm excited to see her grow throughout the show, hopefully. So I loved hearing the tidbit about Rex. I thought that was a really cool little addition. I feel like that could insinuate that they might cross paths with him soon, and when they do, I hope he maybe sticks around with them. I know he wasn't in like a whole lot of the trailer footage, but again, the majority of the footage we saw definitely played out in that first 70-minute episode, and so I could picture them like teaming up with Rex, perhaps, maybe. I don't really know exactly. Their game plan right now seems to just be to hide out from the Empire, which I'm sure Rex is trying to do as well, if not fight back. So I could imagine them teaming up with him, and if they do, I really hope that they stick with him, or he sticks with them, and I would love to just see what state he is in post Order 66 here, and he might have info about Ahsoka, or he might name drop her, or some other people that we know. So I hope that we see him in some upcoming episodes. But so far, I feel like this is definitely taking the path similar to Mandalorian, where perhaps each episode could be a different plot point on a new planet, as they're pretty much similar to Mando, like hiding around, or at least trying to evade the Empire and running into friends along the way. So I feel like this show could be similar in terms of, you know, each episode is a new planet or a new cameo or something like that. And of course, it was great to see Cut again, but I was surprised that they didn't address why his inhibitor chip didn't go off, or like why the switch didn't flip in his head for Order 66. But I mean, I'm not gonna question it. Clearly he didn't snap or anything like that, so I mean, I guess that's all the answer you need to know. Like, he was fine. But yeah, other than the above, I think that's pretty much all I've got. Again, I've got no predictions for this next episode, other than, you know, stuff that I would like to see down the line. But again, I hope they run into Rex soon, potentially. But yeah, I'm just excited, and honestly, like I've said, I'm grateful for any Star Wars content if we're getting it on a weekly basis. So even if these episodes were like, you know, I know I've been complaining, like, I feel spoiled with the 70-minute debut, and I wish now that every episode could be 70 minutes long, because why not? But in reality, these episodes could be like 20 minutes, and they could all be awful, I would still watch it and appreciate it and be grateful for it and excited about it because it's Star Wars, baby, and that's what we're here for. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts about this episode were. I feel a little more coherent than I was in my previous video, but I was literally filming that one at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, but yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Comment below what you thought of this episode, if you agree that it was maybe, you know, obviously not as exciting as that first episode, but still not a bad episode in my opinion. Again, I'm trying to be really objective here and look at it from the lens of what we're coming off of, which was an amazing debut. Hope you guys are doing really, really well as always. May the force be with you guys always, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye.